Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Right On Radio. Today we have the pleasure of hosting Nash and Max from Roll the Bones. They are a Edmonton-based band. Their sound will get you. They have a great fire in their sound. It'll get you dancing. It'll get you grooving. They've been playing festivals locally. They've played festivals domestically, and they are here today to tell us what they are all about and what they have to offer and what plans they have on the horizon for Roll the Bones. So, hey guys,
Hello.
Hey,
how you,
hey.
how you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, it's good Monday going so far.
It has been a Monday, yeah.
Good Monday.
Yeah, Monday after a show, like double weekend, you feel that lack of that like change in stimulation from so much to so little can be quite jarring.
Totally, man. It's kind of like, what do I do with my hands now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
You gotta go back. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's like that refractory period post-show, post-festival, where you're just like, what do you mean I have to go be a human again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta be normal. I gotta survive. Like, what the hell is this? Yeah, well, I'll ask you about the how the festival went a little later on here, but so I'll start with the first question here. Just tell me the beginnings of Roll the Bones. Kind of how you guys formulated and shaped yourself into the group it is today. You started the band, when you guys joined, who's in the band. All that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, okay. So Roll the Bones started off by just a couple of friends, actually just me and one other guy back in, I think we've chatted about this, Nash, about like maybe 2017, 2018. There was
Yeah,
a
something like that.
local open mic happening around the downtown area behind MacEwan University called Dirtbag Cafe. It's like one side a rock climbing gym, one side a cafe. And in the evenings, once a week, they had this open mic that, like, in hindsight, was probably, at least in my opinion, one of the best open mics I've ever been to. It was very welcoming, all different skills, all different types of music. You had people going up there doing comedy sketches, and then you had like some metal act. Like there was a lot of diversity, and for a lot of us, like that's where, even before Nash was in the project, that's where we actually met. But there was a guy there named Mark Bower. Him and I had previously known each other, but just through mutual friends. And he's a phenomenal guitar player. But we both bonded over the same liking of music, Black Keys, Old White Stripes, Brian Jonestown Massacre, The Strokes. And I never really thought about playing. I was like, for people, I was kind of a basement musician until I went to that open mic. And then he was like, if you ever want to do something, I would love to get into playing drums. So him and I started as a two-piece under the same name, Roll the Bones, back in like 2018 before the
Oh,
pandemic.
cool. Yeah.
So that's how it started, and now it's turned into four-piece, five-piece. We have rotating members, and it's come along. It's come a long ways.
Nice. Cool. Sounds like that cafe is quite the opposite of, a dirtbag cafe. The opposite of dirt bags. The loving and
Wow,
the
yeah,
embracing.
I'd
That's
say so. And it actually not only spawned Roll the Bones, but it spawned actually like numerous music careers for people that are still performing to this day.
nice.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sweet. Right on. Um, cool. How do you guys kind of like, coming from the Dirtbag Cafe and kind of breaking out of that? How did you guys find, establishing your brand in the music scene here? And how did you guys kind of break through into the music scene? Like, was it challenging? What was the journey like for that?
Well, it was a weird time because, the pandemic started up like shortly after. Um, and before the pandemic, nothing really seemed impossible, especially in that scene. Like, coming out of university, for all of us, we hadn't really hit like a massive obstacle besides like rising prices of things and
Yeah.
some political views that we're not really going to get into, but it seemed, everything seemed achievable. So at the time, I think the first few gigs were just, I mean, guerrilla marketing and bootstrapping, messaging people on Facebook that had talent booker or like music booker in their headline. I would just DM them, and I was lucky enough to, one, be resilient to handle a bunch of no's for a band that doesn't exist trying to get gigs. But I got lucky with this individual early on that got me booking shows at this very small spot on White Ave called Tavern.
Mm.
Like it's like a Matchbox bar.
Yeah.
And I loved playing there so much, and we would throw our own events there. And coming out of marketing, I would design all the promo material, and I just like kind of threw everything at the wall and saw what stuck. And I had a couple of success with theming everything after Roll the Bones. So I threw this like graveyard party and got all the staff to like dress up, and they were pretty successful. We packed, I think, in our first big show, like 78 people in this room, and it was sick.
That's awesome.
It was so much fun. And then the pandemic hit. Yeah. So all of the motivation, or not motivation, all of the momentum that we had, those are kind of like the lost years a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how we really got started, was just working with the design that I have. It didn't need to look amazing. It just needed to work and get the information out to people.
Yeah.
And DM and tell everyone and put the posters up ourselves and like beg the bar owners to like give us like a break on like renting the space, just because there's not a lot of money at that level. Even at higher levels, it's tough.
That's fair. Yeah, you kind of just you know, get what you can out there, do everything you can yourself, see what sticks, right? That's really
exactly
what you got to do. Yeah.
And those first couple of shows, you learn a lot, you know, things that you need to have for next time, or things that you maybe want to avoid the following time, or like how you can just improve upon each show. Because that's my big obsession, and Nash can attest to this. I have a hard time wanting to do the same show each time, even still. I always want to provide something new, so there's always that kind of incentive or that reward for people that have seen us numerous times. It's like, okay, well, I don't have plans at night, I should go see them, because you just never know what's going to happen. Yeah,
I was just going to say, not only that, but you never know what you're going to get when you come to a Roll the Bone show, right?
It's true. It could be a 2-piece. It could be us in suits with only acoustics, or it could be a 5-piece throwing down electrics with a violin halfway through. So,
yeah, totally. That's sweet. I love that. Did you guys ever have like Nash? Would you ever say you had like a "this is it" moment, where like you had your big breakthrough in the scene? You kind of like, you're like, yeah, we're established now, in a sense, you know?
I mean, Max could probably speak more to like if there was a moment where he felt it, because like I only joined the band post-COVID. So, you know, it was kind of one of those like, hey, we need a bassist. Ours got a night shift job, can't come to rehearsals, or doesn't have the time. Would you be interested in playing this show that we have lined up? And then, you know, at the time I was looking for something to do. I said, sure, why not? I'll play this gig. It's probably the only one I'll play with this band, but why not? Seems fun.
Yeah.
And then that web Nash.
Exactly. Yeah. I fell into the trap. But like that show was, I was very much like Max, where I was like, I'm a bass musician. I hang out. I went to the Dirtbag, and I would like, I never put myself on the list, but I would play bass on as many people's sets as I could.
Yeah.
Just because I had fun doing it. And it was playing that first gig with Roll the Bones where I was like, oh, wait, this is actually really cool and a really good feeling, and I want to keep doing this. If I had to point at like we've kind of made it, or at least the momentum is back moment, and Max, you may or may not agree with this one, but it was opening for Hotel Mira at the Starlight Room was, I think, kind of where things shifted from, hey, you know, we can play basically gigs whenever we really want. We can play a small gig, put something together, kind of do it all ourselves. But getting that and being able to play that gig and being able to impress people at that gig was kind of the moment where it's like, no, this is now a thing. And, you know, we're not just putting on a show for the sake of putting on a show. We're actually trying to make a go of this.
Yeah, totally. I went to that show at the Starlight in May, I think it was, with like Pleasurecraft and Midnight Diner. Is that the show that you're talking about? A separate show? Not that.
I was talking about the first time we played the Starlight stage, which you asked for a moment. I have 3 moments that I think really felt like, ooh, like, wow, this is like, if it didn't grow past this, I would be very content with what we've done.
Yeah.
Nash was talking about when we opened up for Hotel Mira back in January 2000. 23.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember if
2024.
yeah, I couldn't remember if Hotel was the first band at the night I went to or
Yeah.
not.
Shout out to Hotel Mira and Mike Noble. Love you guys. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
But I think I had a 3. I remember one of the first ones was when we played the Buckingham, and there was this group of people that I had no idea who they were, and they knew lyrics to songs. That was really cool when I was like shouting out to them, and they were like saying it back, and it wasn't just nonsense; it was the actual lyrics.
Yeah.
Um, both Starlight shows, the one with Hotel Mira, but then also the most recent one we had because it was our headline show and it did sell out. That felt really cool because it was pretty nerve wracking. That room, when it's not full, can sometimes feel like it just provides a little bit of that anxiety for every show that you worry that people won't show up.
Totally.
Happy to say that it wasn't. And then we played the MS Walk this year, and there was a group of kids that came up to us during a break of our performance, and they had never seen or heard live music before. And we were that first experience for them. And we like gave them the sheet music, the guitar picks, chatted with them as much as we could and begged them to tell their parents that they want to learn instruments. And that was very, humbling and rewarding. And again, another one of those like, wow, like this has some power.
It has that power, and it must feel really good to, not be inspired, on your own through various ways, but to hear that you inspire others too.
To be that first experience for a group of kids that had no idea like live music was something that they needed in their lives, and they gotta just like go crazy at the front of the stage. It's hard to put into words how I felt that day, but I think humbled and very rewarding.
Yeah, it's the next generation, right?
Exactly. You gotta get them out. You gotta get your kids playing instruments and start at a young age.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's so funny too, as like a self-described hack musician, because Max will attest to the fact that I probably downplay myself the most out of anyone. But to have kids that come up to us as a group and be like, "I'm gonna learn how to play guitar like you," you're just like, "Oh my God, this is amazing."
Yeah, it gives you like
you could probably do better than me, but thank you.
Yeah, it kind of gives you like a new identity for yourself, like a new purpose, right? Feels good. You guys are both muted for some reason.
I just don't want to have any like random noise. There's always fire trucks and ambulances downtown. I don't want to like put any background noise in, so I'll mute when I
Oh, okay. I was wondering if you were doing that or not, like yourself. Okay.
Yeah, no, same deal over here because
good
background noise happening.
Well, yeah, awesome. It sounds like you guys had a lot of different, moments where you're like, this is it. Different in their own unique ways, and they bring, special feelings for each of you guys. Great feelings, obviously. The show I went to was at the Starlight in May there. That was a great show. That was packed. That was an awesome show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We and it wasn't just us. All the bands that played with us that night did also like hustle and work hard.
Of course.
So shout out to Pleasurecraft, Midnight Diner, and I can't remember one more. My brain is fogging out. Oh.
Midnight Diner, Pleasurecraft. Here, hold on.
And what was? Oh God, I'm so sorry.
No,
it is.
I think I got it. Yeah. Hold on, give me a second.
I can do it.
As soon as we find this, we're all gonna feel so bad.
Local Felon.
Yeah, local Felon. Yeah, here we go.
All you guys, thank you.
Yeah. Cool. For some reason, I just had it on my mind, like, when you were talking about joining the band, Nash. You were eating Doritos at the very start of the podcast. So I was thinking, another way you could lure Nash into whatever you need, Doritos.
Honestly, just food. This band, like, okay, this is a total tangent, but one of the like underrated parts about being in a band is band dinner. And if there's any band out there that is not doing band dinner before shows, you need to start, because we have had some incredible dinners as a band pre-show, and it's just, you get into this headspace where you're about to go into a show and you're about to play a gig, and like the nerves are insane and the stress is there, and it's like you're kind of catastrophizing in your head of like, no matter how much I've rehearsed, no matter how ready I am, something's gonna go wrong. And then you go have band dinner and you just have some good food, and all of it goes away, and then you play the set, you kill it, you have a great time.
It's all good. Yeah. It's deserving too, of course, because
Oh yeah.
obviously you guys are going to play great. Duh.
Yeah, and we're lucky, although it hasn't happened yet. So if you're watching, Joe, Dylan, you guys owe band dinner at some point, because two of the hired guns of the band are incredible chefs,
Mm.
and we keep going out for our band dinners. So come on, guys, step it up.
That's-
Food is how you get me. Food is
Yeah.
how you get me in a band.
That must be pretty sweet to have chefs in the band. Do they like?
Supposedly, theoretically, yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Theoretically.
No. They've helped curate some good meals. It's nice for sure. Having different backgrounds for members, which is not always your choice. It provides interesting chemistry and conversation
Yeah.
when you're not on the stage.
Yeah. New perspectives, all that kind of jazz. So you guys came out with your debut album during COVID. It was kind of a weird time in the world, pandemic, uncertainty. What was the writing and recording process for that like during a time like that?
Okay. So when I started this project, really all I wanted to do was just have an album.
Mhm.
That's what I just was like, okay, before, I've played music for a while as a basement musician. I found passion with it. It allows me to kind of have my own little therapy with getting some of my internal thoughts out there. So I just wanted to do this album. And COVID, one of the positive things it did was allow for a lot of extra time.
Yeah.
I still worked full time during COVID. I had a remote job, so that didn't necessarily impact that too much. But that's when the band started growing into the 5-piece, and we had
Right.
more members in, and everyone had this extra time, and we figured, okay, like maybe this is the time that we can put into an album. By this point, I already had the material that I've already written, and we had been performing. It just nothing had been recorded. So with the extra time, and through one of the mates in the band at the time, we worked with a local engineer and producer named Jordan Hance. Shout out to the Buck and the Jordan's family, and also Nico Tobias Band. And we worked with him to do the self-titled album. So I think there were a couple of songs. I think I remember writing a song like that made it onto the album like the morning of the first day that we went in,
Mhm.
which was a pretty fun experience.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it was the first time that I had gone through the recording experience. So I learned a lot from it. Most of the time it was like a lot of fun, like getting all the gear in there and having the songs out and about, but putting them in a way that would translate nicely to headphones, not just like a live show, was definitely a challenge. And I definitely underestimated the amount of time it takes into mixing. And,
Yeah.
the world, as you said, was in such an interesting place at the time, like with all the extra time. I remember sometimes showing up a little hungover when I shouldn't have been, and changing things last minute because we had so much time. And I think that was something for me, like a double-edged sword, allowed me to be creative with the amount of time that I had, but it also allowed me to nitpick so much stuff to the point that it started driving me a little crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I think one of the guys had to sit me down and was like, hey, this is like my piece of advice to you. The minute you start disliking your music, it's ready to let it go.
Yeah.
It's like listen to it enough that you're trying to find problems. So I felt very insecure about it. I didn't release it for about 2 years
Oh, wow.
after it was recorded. Yeah.
Yeah.
I chatted with a few mentors at the time that are a little bit further along in their music career, and it was tough. Some people were like, if you really don't feel like it's a fair representation of you as an artist, then don't release it. And some people are like, you paid the money and it already exists. You can always make more. Don't be so precious and let it go. And that's ended up the direction that I took. And I only regret that I didn't release it sooner.
Yeah. Like I'm just gonna say, like it sounds phenomenal. Like I can tell you spent a lot of time on the mixing. It sounds great in the car too. Like
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no
Thank you.
problem. Yeah. But yeah, like with the pandemic, you have your negatives and you have your positives. You just gotta take what you can. I mean, like it breathed new life in certain ways, and it kind of held you back in certain ways, in a sense.
Of course. Plus, honestly, like if I had never released it, I don't know. Like like I think what we released that in 2023, and I mean we've been riding that album until now, and it's allowed us to grow to a place that I didn't think we would really move to.
Yeah.
So, surprised to say, and yeah, there's no. I take it back. I have no regrets on that. I'm happy that it's out. I'm happy that people like it. I'm happy that people found similarities with their life versus my feelings and composure of those songs. And yeah, I look forward to releasing more music.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're just you're pouring your soul out into the music and you're just translating how you feel and you know, it's great to hear what people think about it, right? How they interpret it and then could be completely different but from how you interpret it too, right? That's the cool thing about it.
Definitely, especially when people sometimes like really look for meaning and stuff, and you're like, I just like that word.
Yeah.
I just like that.
That's just like a fun little thing I did. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think Kurt Cobain is like quoted on he had a few quotes where people were like really looking for meaning in his lyrics. He's like, I thought it just sounded pretty.
Yeah. So people just search so deeply into something when it's just like it doesn't like you just like something. Like
Each their own. If you can find meaning in something that matters to you, that's all that matters.
yeah. How about you, Nash? What was that? Like, what was your experience with that whole process for that album?
Well, so interestingly enough, or maybe not interestingly enough, I wasn't actually part of the band until after the whole album recording was
Okay.
completed. And actually, really, I guess, like a year before the release, like maybe a year and a half. So it was less of a experience with actually recording the music and more of an experience with taking what had been recorded and what already existed and then really like building the live show with the band.
Right.
So really like I haven't been on any track until like now the tracks that we're going to release going forward I've been on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's almost as difficult. I wouldn't say it is in terms of like being part of the band that has the album out when people are like, "Oh my God, what was it like? What were you doing? How do you feel about it?" Because I come at it from a like almost completely divorced from reality side of things where it's like I didn't experience any of the highs and lows of the recording process. I've only experienced the final product in the same way that like the entire audience has.
Yeah.
The main difference is just in the lead up to releasing it, I was also learning the parts of it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's kind of like, you're kind of thrown into it, and it's kind of like your job to take what Max gave you. You just kind of got to elevate it, right? Kind of like got to elevate the band and do your part with it.
Well, and you also, it's really interesting to be in a position where you're kind of like coming into something that already exists
Yeah.
when there isn't recorded music because there's this like, hey, well, we did XYZ. That's how the song is written. You have to play that. Then you have music that's been recorded. And there's even more of an expectation, especially when you're coming into a project, years into its existence, where a lot of these songs, by the time they were released and people could listen on Spotify, some of these songs are, 3, 4, 5 years old by this point.
Yeah.
Max has been playing them for a while. So
Yeah.
there is like an expectation, and it's like, how do you put your mark on it? Which pretty much just came down to like, I guess I'm gonna be a little bit more Philly than the recorded bass lines.
Yeah.
And no one can hear them anyways because it's the bass and it's just there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that perspective, it's been really interesting. And then like for all the stuff that we've been doing now, like it's been super fun. It's just, you get into a room and for the entire day, your life consists of record and perfect and do over and over again and make the best thing that you can in a way that you never do for a show because
Yeah.
the purpose is different. The show, you put on a really good show. The recording, you're making ideally the best version of the song that you've ever made.
Of course. Kind of like a robot with feelings.
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna ask. So the group is obviously, working on new music. Is it a new album? Like, what can you say about it? What are you willing to share?
We are going to have some singles, and there's going to be another. I'm probably going to do another. Like I'm a traditionalist. Like I listen to albums primarily. Like
Right.
I try and avoid the Spotify just play similar radio trap. Obviously, there's a time and place for it. Like
Yeah.
if you're working or if you're distracted, but I like love to like sit down and just listen to an album start to finish and just like sit in front of the stereo and listen to it fully. So I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. Shout out to the TikTok brain that exists in our lives and has impacted all of us.
Yeah.
But because of that, I have a strong desire to do another full length album.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear it.
Thank you. Yeah, the first single is, I think, gonna be wrapped up actually today. Not released today, but it's sounding pretty good.
Nice. Sweet. What was the experience? What has been the experience this process versus the last one? Is it more collaborative now that Nash is in the mix? Like, yeah.
Good question.
Yeah.
I would say that the last progress was also like very collaborative. I think the one thing that I've been very fortunate with all the amounts of people that have played in this project, everyone's been like an amazing musician. Everyone has been able to provide so many different elements, if it's to perfecting live shows or if it's making suggestions for a song that's been written. Very, very thankful for that. So last time was collaborative for sure, and this time was collaborative as well. But I think the big difference this time is that the lineup has shifted sometimes with who's available, and some of the other mates are in other bands, so everyone has to kind of make sure that we have a fair say of who's going to be involved for what process or activity that we're working on at the time.
Right.
This time around, I set a time limit. We had 2 days of actual recording, and then everything else has been mixing. Something that I didn't really do last time. And I think, one situation to the next, maybe you do that again and it doesn't work, but it definitely worked this time.
Nice.
It allowed us to really take that time just doing 2 songs in 2 days with proper time for setup for each song, making sure that every piece of equipment sounds right. The engineer that we worked with is fantastic and comes from a more production, drum, percussion, rap background. So he really knew how to get the production to hit, which I'm very, very happy about this time around. And I think the biggest difference was we just made sure that we had an open invite for people that knew that we were recording. So we had people coming in and out.
Oh, that's cool.
There was conversation flowing that wasn't just about music. It wasn't just us beating our heads over it. Like, we had some laughs.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a cold beer or two involved to allow us to really capture the energy that day, get a little loose, have some fun, make sure we're feeling the walls. We're not just kind of nervous and like
feel like you're in
that really does translate to music. I find is you can sometimes tell, like when I've listened to a few songs, like I'm a big fan of the Black Lips, and I just listened to some of their albums. I'm like, man, you could tell they had so much fun in the studio that day. Like, yeah, just shooting the shit.
That's what it's all about, and it helps the experience just flow, and just like, if you guys are all chill, I mean, like, what's there to stress about, right?
It's just hard. Like the first time going through it, it didn't feel like that at all, and I don't think that was anything to do with the people I worked with. I think as an individual, there's so much pressure, and that's not even to mention the money that goes into this. Like, you only have one shot, don't mess it up.
Yeah.
Right? But then you get so tunnel vision on trying to make it perfect. It kind of just goes away like that. And then it's, you're either happy with it or you aren't. And the first time I wasn't, and this time I definitely am. So it worked for us this time.
Sounds like there's a lot less pressure this time around.
Still pressure. I think we're all in our way our own worst critics. I'm pretty bad for it myself. But I think it wasn't a full album right now. It was just the singles. I think that does make it easier. We felt very confident with how we were playing it to go into the studio. And I think, again, like having the folks come in and we really captured the energy that day for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's just breathes a new environment, breathes new life into it, right? That's what it's all about, just a bunch of friends hanging out. Because you don't want to feel like you're in a prison cell or anything hanging out.
No. Plus, I got invited to a few friends when they were recording music, and every time I listen to some of those tracks now, I'm like, hey, I was in that room listening to that guitar solo at that moment. I'm like forever immortalized in it, and I want people to experience that too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, listening to you explain that, I'm sure that we're gonna be able to hear it once we hear the music. You know, how just chill, flow, sit
I
back.
think so.
Yeah, that'll be really cool.
I took a bit of inspiration from like old hip hop albums that, I mean, albums in general, not just hip hop, but adding skits and like having little tidbits of kind of just not taking it too seriously, I think is at the end of the day what I've been trying to do
Nice.
with these next round of songs.
That's a good approach. Nash, you got anything to like? Do you have any moments that you kind of specifically remember that you really enjoyed, or anything from this process so far? These songs?
Yeah, I mean, kind of echoing what Max has said, like there's something about going into a room full of people who are fully like, yes, this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna do it, and it's gonna be cool, and just having fun with it. That, kind of creates a totally different energy. Like, probably the one standout moment for me that's gonna be like both funny and just awesome forever is we spent the whole first day recording one song and like going through tracks, working on it. And at the end of the day, we're like, well, everything is set up. Why don't we record the scratch track for the song that we were going to do tomorrow? And we all got back into the booth, into the room, did one take of this, and kind of all looked at each other like that could be the song right there. If we wanted to go garage rock, we could just put that out.
Yeah.
Because vibes were good, energy was high, we like everything hit properly, and the only thing that we didn't do was mic everyone up appropriately because it was for a scratch track just to guide the next day. And like little experiences like that where you're like, yeah, okay, we killed that. I guess we got to come in tomorrow and like do it better again.
Yeah.
Don't know how, but
Yeah.
we're gonna. And then you go in the next day and you sit down and you're with your friends and you go and you do it.
Yeah.
And then the next 3-4 weeks is just like teasing out every piece of cool thing that you can add in, every texture, every flavor to put in this. And especially, as Max kind of alluded to, like the producer that we worked with on these two songs is a little more in the hip hop genre, or like not even just like more produced. He's got experience going more produced, whereas the original album, and correct me if I'm wrong, Max, but kind of the vibe was to be underproduced, where it was kind of more in that like garage rock vibe. This time around, for these songs specifically, we wanted to explore what you can do with production, and that, it means being able to throw a fun little skit in the middle of a song or have a fun moment that kind of breaks the fourth wall, does things like that. You'll hear it in the song when it comes out, but there is a moment that the song drops out and the fourth wall breaks. And when the original sample that we put in that was the funniest thing I've heard in years. When it went in, and it was just like a random idea. Max left the room to like get water or go to the bathroom or something like that, and we just tracked down a random sample and slotted it in the spot as a, what if we did this? It would be kind of fun. And I think it was like me, Joe, and Eric howling with laughter while Max walks in just to be like, hey man, you've got to hear this. I think we figured it out.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's those moments in time that are just so good, and they're so good that you want to capture, right? But then when you do like your editing, post-recording, you don't want to overdo it. You want to just add to that, right? You don't want to you just don't want to make it too chaotic where it takes away from that feeling of that moment.
Yeah, there's a fine line between adding just the right amount and too much.
Yeah, totally.
And I think with technology nowadays, that's the thing. There's no limit.
No,
You really need a good team behind you to say, hey, you know what? This is getting too much. Like,
Yeah,
I need to
totally.
back off.
Yeah, it's good to have that, other outside opinion that's not so biased, right?
Well, that's
of
kind of been the best part too, is because there's definitely been a couple of times in this process of like mixing the song where like we have crossed that line into too much. And then you all kind of look at each other and you're like, all right, that didn't work. Let's roll it back and figure out exactly what's going to work the best.
Yeah.
And it's fun the whole kind of process through to explore those different options.
Yeah.
definitely.
You kind of look around, you're like, guys, the hell's going on here?
Yeah, maybe we're trying to fit 2 songs into one here. Maybe we need to chill out. Yeah,
Yeah.
which sums it up.
Well, awesome. It sounds like the process has been just great for you guys, and I'm excited to hear what you have in store.
Yeah, no, thank you, Josh. It's going to be fun to share it. And shout out to Connor at Resonate School of Music, where they do teachings and lessons as well as full-blown production and recording. They've been nothing but amazing to us.
That's really cool. So it's at a school where they have the studio?
Yeah, Resonate School of Music. It's like, yeah, it is Resonate School of Music. So yes, it's a school, but they do a wide variety of things.
It's really cool.
School.
I'll have to check that out.
They do also open mics, I believe, at the end of the last Sunday of every month, all different skill levels. So,
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'll definitely check that out. It's cool.
very pro open mic individuals here, because that is how this all got started.
It's how you do it, baby.
How you get out of your basement.
Yeah.
You got out of your basement and you're not surrounded by a bunch of musicians, friends like myself at the time.
Yeah.
Open mics, put yourself out there a little bit. It's scary, but
So what you got to do, right?
got to do it.
Got to do it.
You only live once.
You only live once. You might as well live it.
Yeah.
And you never know when just going out to like, hey, this tiny little cafe across the street from McEwen after your nighttime class, because there's music playing, turns into like, oh yeah, we get to play festivals and do these shows and like record and like everything that we get to do stemmed from that.
Yeah, totally. I'm gonna ask about the influences you guys take from. Who influences your guys' work musically, and if you have any other outside influences aside from music?
It's funny. I listen to a lot of music,
Yeah.
and I don't really it's rare that I really dislike something. So the music I listen to doesn't always sound like what I'm actually playing. I don't know. It's weird how the way that I've written some of this music. But if I was to take that aside and plainly say where I think I drew inspiration from to even want to play guitar and perform, easily, the first White Stripes album up to all of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
But those earlier ones definitely got me being like, oh, I want to play guitar. I want to do that. I want to be in a room with people, and I want to have the spotlight on me and be that rock star guy like Jack White is.
Yeah,
I would
totally.
say he was my first. I discovered the Black Keys eventually. My first concert was the Strokes. And then when Mark and I, the original drummer, when we started hanging out, he really got me into the Brian Jonestown Massacre. And then that's pretty much when I started performing.
I think Nash was mentioning that artist to me, or that group.
Yeah, they're Anton Newcomb is a pretty big underground legend, and his mentality of just producing music constantly out, the sheer volume of it is inspiring for sure. He's a little intense. Not everyone would say that he's awesome, but for me, I really resonated with sometimes the simplicity of what he's doing, which it's not to say what he's doing is simple, but sometimes the tonality and the music itself, it's just not overcrowded. It's a little bit of reverb can go a very long way.
Totally.
One guitar line, even if it's not complex, can be a major component to a song. And the stripped take form on psych rock and modern rock and roll definitely provided inspiration, because I wouldn't say that we're hard rock. I would say we're somewhere in the middle of vintage garage and rock and roll. And I think the Brian Jonestown Massacre really allowed me to play rock and roll, but not just blow people's eardrums out, not just go up in leather and smash a guitar. It made me like really want to be particular with my craft to ensure that people are having a very good time experiencing the music, not just listening to sounds.
Yeah, it sounds like you have that mix of both, where like the White Stripes is so guitar driven, and it's just the wall of sound is so huge. But then, uh, yeah, this other group that you're talking about, the simplicity, and it just you can just take so much from so little, and you can
Yeah,
kind of mix it together, and you can craft something completely new with it, right? And your own
exactly.
spin on it.
Exactly. And I think again, like just ensuring that the experience is good. I mean, I am getting a little bit older and I have hearing damage, so I need to wear earplugs, but
Yeah, I feel that.
I can't stand when I go to a show and it's just too loud.
Yeah, man.
Like, and that's not to say it's bad. It's just like, oh, you're in this small room and it's so fucking loud
Yeah,
and the amps are not sidewashed, which means for anyone that doesn't know, they're pointed at the side of a stage, not facing you. Like if you were the crowd, it's just like, oh man. And so many sound techs won't say anything and bands don't want to be told to turn down. So at least it works for us. I can't say for sure, but I always want to, I just don't want people to be in pain
totally. And no,
listening to music.
unless they like the pain. Oh, I love the pain.
I can find inspiration in the pain.
Yeah.
Who needs eardrums anyways?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I won't go to a bar unless there's like a show going on. I won't go to a bar anymore. I can't do it. It's too loud.
I mean, a couple drinks in, anything can happen. But yeah, like
Yeah,
I feel like it's only until I got hearing damage that I was like, okay, I should probably
I should
like
probably do.
preach this a bit more. Yeah,
I guess I should do something about this.
can't get it back. Can only
No,
prevent.
you can't get it back. How about you, Nash? Your influences and what you bring to Roll the Bones, musically and other interests aside from music.
Yeah, so I mean, musically is I'm kind of in the same boat as Max. Like I listen to a lot of everything.
Yeah,
My musical taste, I think, probably skews on the heavier side of things from Max's. Like I joke that I'm the band's only metalhead because even though I'm not really a metalhead, a
yeah,
lot of what I listen to is like prog rock, metal. I love genres and bands that are blending genres and things like that to do just something new and cool. Which also, if you are a metalhead, automatically having said that, you're gonna think I'm a poser, and you know what? You're right. Um, and so kind of, when like our process is pretty much like Max will write a song and he'll bring it to the band, and then it's up to the rest of the band to kind of figure out where our pieces fit and where the puzzle piece goes in relation to, this outline that Max has designed.
yeah,
And so, when I'm writing my bass lines, I didn't really grow up with parents who listened to like funk or anything like that. It was like we're either listening to Motley Crue and Def Leppard, or we're listening to, country music, or, come the 2000s, we're listening to whatever is popular on the rock stations.
yeah,
And so with that, I've played a little bit maybe more complex than what's been recorded on the old album, and I like to do that. I actually have to learn to rein it in a little bit because I like my bass lines more than I like singing backup, but doing both is really difficult.
all right.
But like one of my biggest influences is Coheed and Cambria, and Max will get sick of me talking about them because I do it all the time. But like they're one of those bands that there's an album or a song for no matter what emotion or feeling or day that you have had. There's one like 8 minute long song of theirs that is mostly guitar solos, and that song was the one where I was like, I need to pick up a guitar and learn how to do this.
Yeah,
And the end of that song is a banjo outro, like a riffin banjo like battle. Like it's weird and I love it. And so like that's, musically kind of where I come from, and try and slot in with the band to just kind of do that little bit, that little extra push where Max, pulls back. The bass can maybe push a little bit more than it would traditionally in a rock song, because so many are just, 3 on E, do your easy thing, hit the beat. And I play a little bit more, which is fun. And then beyond that, I mean, one of the interesting things I think in our band is Not well, I used to say none of us, but I guess technically one of us because Joe is practically in the band at this point. But none of us are like professional, went to school musicians.
Fair.
Max and I both have commerce degrees, so we're marketing guys.
Yeah.
We've practiced and we're good at our instruments, but it was never like I'm gonna go to McEwen and become a musician full time kind of situation. And I think a lot of the sound in the band comes from that because I don't know about you if you've seen many bands, but like living in Edmonton, you see so many performers who come from that. Like, I am going to go to school and learn this.
Yeah.
And they're incredible musicians and they're so good, but they're so good in a way that I can only watch so often.
Yeah, it's kind of
Well,
like,
be careful, Nash. You're about to get some online hate.
Oh, I know,
Use your
I
words
know.
wisely.
Don't get me wrong. I love them all, but there is something nice about like going to a show. And there's don't get me wrong, there's tons of bands on both sides of this where it's like, yeah, you can go to a show and just have some raw music.
yeah,
You know, sometimes a guy who doesn't know every single scale in every single spot up and down the neck can make good music too.
yeah, totally. Of course. You don't need to be a professional musician to make good music.
Fight me in the comments.
You don't.
Some of the most like widely known songs are some of the most simple. I mean,
They are. Yeah.
it's
Like
proven.
like Max was saying, there is something in simplicity and there is something in just, you know, you play with your whole heart and you play to your limitations. And so you get those moments where you exceed your own expectations or your own limitations, and you do that in front of the audience. And it's incredible, which again, not to say that people who've gone to school for this stuff don't do that because it happens for everyone. I just find that's one of the things that I love the most about our band is like, we don't go into it going like the number of shows that I've gone into, which doesn't happen anymore, but in the first year of being in the band, where I had to wait for Max to start playing the song before I remembered what song it was and where to start playing on the bass. Because like looking at the name, I was like, I know every single one of these songs, but until he starts, I don't know what any of these songs are.
Fair.
You know, maybe it works. We've gotten this far.
Yeah.
Definitely. Also, I'm laughing. You made the poser comment. It's like, oh, I listen to so much music. What are your influences? White Stripes and Black Keys. It's like how it's like so original.
I was gonna ask you, Max, did you listen to Jack White's new album yet? No Name?
I have not. That's because I resonate more with old White Stripes. I listened to his new one. I can't remember the name of it. The one with John C. Reilly in the music video. Some of his, yeah, like last time I was here, I went to his concert. It was amazing. I have his most recent album, not the one that just came out. I don't get the same pull that I do personally from those original White Stripe albums.
Let me say something. That's probably my least favorite song on the album. The rest of the album is very old White Stripes.
Okay.
I think you'll really like it. Just give it
he made a comment that's like, oh, okay, like White Stripes will probably never get back together. So if you want White Stripes, come see my shit. And it's like, okay, yeah, like I accept that. So
yeah,
I'll check it out.
It's a pretty fucking killer album, I will say.
Okay. I'll listen to it. Also love the Yayos.
Yeah. But yeah, Nash, you were talking about your metal influences. So we can expect to hear some Gent on the new Roll the Bones album, or a little metal?
Absolutely. Don't
Oh
you know
yeah,
it?
we're lining them up.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit of Talking Heads influences too, and some, I don't know. It's pinning down a set of influences for this band, at least for me, has been really hard because like the easy ones are obviously Black Keys, White Stripes, Brian Jonestown Massacre. If for no other reason than the couple of Brian Jonestown Massacre covers that we've done, a lot of people are like, that's not your song. I thought it was.
Yeah.
But it's just, when you get into a group and there's not like a moment where everybody sits down and goes, we all love this. And we're gonna make this.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
really
no.
becomes like, you kind of get this mishmash of things where it's like, one of the songs that's going to come out, we'll talk about it a little bit. Jennifer, it's one of the ones we recorded. One of the big inspirations for that one musically, as far as the bass line goes, it kind of out of nowhere became a really bass heavy song because as we were putting it together, there was this like weird Talking Heads influence in it where I was like, you guys realize like this has there's a really fun dichotomy between this love song about Jennifer and the fact that the bass line that I've been playing has the vibes of the Psycho Killer bass line.
Yeah.
And like leaning into that more as we wrote out the song a little bit more, speeding it up, trying it slowed down, doing all these different things where it's like, okay, now with the final product, I still don't know what I would say that song takes inspiration from,
Yeah.
much less anything else that we're planning to record over the next, year or so, where it's just there's so many different pieces and so many different things that you kind of just get into a room and by the time you've left the room, you've forgotten all the influences and it's like, yeah, no, okay, this is Roll the Bones.
Now it's you guys.
Well,
Yeah.
plus, like, I don't know about you, Nash, but I'm still listening to new music that I'm discovering for the first time. I'll probably write a song for this album that will be influenced by someone I discovered 2 weeks before. Like, I know there's some people that don't want to do that when they're recording because it feels like it takes them away from their own like message, but I just have such bad ADD that I need kind of music constantly like around me. So, I mean, it's just never changing.
Yeah.
Is in what you sound like as an artist. It's constantly evolving.
Yeah. It just creates just so much more color. Like, of course you want like a certain theme for the album, but
A definition of like what you could
yeah.
expect
Yeah,
listening to. Exactly.
Well,
totally.
you're not gonna like listen to a Roll the Bones album and we're gonna be like, 5 songs deep of like hip hop and rap.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's never gonna happen. But at the same time, like, yeah, I'll fully admit, going into the session for Jennifer, I was blasting hip hop in the car.
Yeah.
Like it was you kind of go into these things and like listen to whatever is coming on shuffle and whatever albums. Like there's a solid list of albums that I go back to pretty regularly. And then the other side of it is since joining this project, I've started a tradition, which is whenever we play with a band that has one, I buy the vinyl, get them to sign it, and then I listen to it before the next gig.
I like that.
And it just like kind of it brings back, as we mentioned, like there's that kind of like association with the feelings in that moment where you bought it, you remember it, you have all of that. But at the same time, it's also like, and here's the next thing that we're going to. I actually try to avoid listening to the music of anyone that we play with before we play with them.
Yeah.
And then that way it's just you go into it and it's like you get the show experience totally fresh like a new audience member would, and
Yeah.
it's incredible. It's always incredible. And then you listen to the album and instead of being like, oh yeah, I've listened to these songs for a month in the lead up to this, the only thing that's in my brain is how incredible the show was. And then it's like this motivation to be like, and now I've got to give that to someone else.
Yeah, totally. It's like it's a
It's so unique to you. I listen to them so much before I go see them. I want to feel it. I want to know what they're planning versus what I can expect. Like
two different sides to the story here then.
yeah,
But
Nash and I are pals, but we couldn't be more different. Like, I don't know how it works, but it does.
yeah.
The amount of random not fights we've had over just like random stuff like that. Like I don't know about you, Max, but if I can't fight with my friends, who can I fight with? And it just makes it all the more real.
All the more real and all the more fun.
True, you need it. Can't just be in an echo chamber with people agreeing with you 24/7.
No, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll ask you guys a few questions about Rock and Thunder, and I guess we'll wrap it up here. Uh, how was it? How was the experience of the weekend?
so good. It was such a cool experience. Yeah.
Like
I would say that. Oh no, go ahead.
what's the day like for you guys for like a festival? Like, yeah,
They've been different, right? For one festival to the next, hasn't been the same so far. And I mean, to be completely honest, like in the last year, the opportunities have been ramping up more, and just again, the levels of these things are just always a little bit different. So what made Rocking Thunder a very cool experience was, I mean, getting on the bill, it was an honor to play with some of those massive legends like Joan Jett and Stone Temple Pilots. I mean, Weezer. That was a big honor, and we'll for always be thankful of that. But the day-to-days of them are heavily dependent on how organized they are.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah, like Rock and Thunder was pretty good. They obviously are a bit bigger and there was more money involved. So I think the organization for us was pretty streamlined. You know, we arrived 2 hours before our performance. It was smoking hot that day, which was perfect. All the stage crew, the sound techs, the security, everyone was super, super helpful, treating us like that we're actually, you know, even though we're on the side stage, that we didn't feel like side stage acts. Everyone treated us with that kind of like rock star status and mentality, which like you don't always get. So it was like pretty cool to get that. Everyone was kind.
Everyone's like friends, right?
Yeah, and you know, we've been doing this for a while now. That's definitely not always the fucking case.
Sure.
you get a lot of everyone wants, even people that are helping you, everyone wants something. So, and I think that's like expected and like obvious, but it's nice when it's not like so transparent and it's, you know, everyone kind of acts as in my opinion, as they should, which at the end of the day is just about putting on a good show.
Yeah.
And making sure that everyone has a good time that can be there.
Yeah.
So for us at the festival, yeah, we got there 2 hours early, very nice, got everything set up, got some free drinks out of it, had a great performance. We were the first ones up, so like one tech issue, but besides that, it was a fantastic time. And then after that, we got, you know, we didn't have to wait in the lines, and we got to go into the crowd after and see some of these acts that we liked. We got to bring extra pals in.
Nice.
You know, the benefit of kind of working behind the scenes a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I love attending shows, but man, let me tell you, when you play them, they're even more fun.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something really cool too about being able to say that, you know, one way or another, even if there wasn't, you know, 3,000 people on the grounds when we played, like we were the very first band of the very first rock festival Edmonton has had in like 8 years, at the very least post-COVID. And more importantly, because they've already announced that there will be a second Rock and Thunder, we were the very first band of the first Rock and Thunder, which if it goes anything like Big Valley Jamboree, you know, or Country Thunder, which is the company that put them on, right, could very well become an institution. And so like that's really cool to have that experience and like just meet people who are like, you know, so nice and so helpful. And then also get to experience all these incredible bands that it's like, yeah, you know what? I might not have paid money to go see Def Leppard, and they were incredible.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you go and do all of these things and yes, you played. And then, you know, to hear people afterwards, the coolest part for me, because I also worked at the festival. So like the second day I spent working there. You know, overhearing people at the end of the night, you know, walking around being like, you know what? There was this band right at the 2 o'clock yesterday that was rocking really good. They were good. And you're like, that was me. That was us.
Oh yeah. You know it.
That was, yeah.
You guys feel like you had a fun performance? Feel like it went okay?
Yeah. Again, like Nash said, first one's up of the day at like, you know, an hour after open. It can be a tough slot for anyone, but I mean, this isn't unique to Rock and Thunder. I don't care if there's 5 people in the room or 500. I'm going to play it like there's 5,000.
Yeah.
Because that's how I ensure that I deliver a good performance.
Giving it your all, right?
And the staff, again, made us feel like that too. So I have nothing but only good things to say from our performance and that festival.
Nice. Was this the first year of this festival? Because I don't think I've seen it before.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Very first year. It's also the first rock thunder the first rock festival that has happened in Edmonton since Chaos Alberta, which I think
That's
fell
wild.
apart
That is wild.
in
That was
like
Because that was
2018.
that because Sonic Boom was how long ago?
15.
Jeez. Yeah.
It was a
Because
long time
Country
ago.
Thunder's been operating for
Can't hear you
multiple years now, right? I think I've been seeing the Country Thunder.
Just give me a second here.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Josh cut out. Oh, I think his internet went.
No, he's still there.
No, but he's got the red. Angry. Are you back?
I don't know what happened.
Are you back?
Well, we're still recording. I hear you, Josh.
Damn.
Hello.
I can't hear you guys like at all right now.
Hello, hello.
Oh no.
Give
You're
me a
back?
second here.
Yeah.
Hey, tech issues. At least it's not just me.
Exactly. I actually need to grab my charger. I will be
Okay.
back in 1 second.
I will let him know. Hello, hello.
There, I just had to reboot my interface.
Oh, there we go. Okay, Max just ran to grab his computer charger.
Oh, okay. And I just completely cut out. That was weird. Oh.
Yeah, it looked like your internet died on this end. It looked like.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah, we're still recording. That was just weird. Anyways,
Yeah, sort of.
Fun
Yeah.
times.
I stepped away during that recording. My bad.
it's all good. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
We're talking about the legacy of Rock and Thunder being the first year
Yeah.
in a while since, rock has been at a focal point in Edmonton, Alberta, and kind of around the world, in my opinion. But yeah, it's good to see. Hopefully it continues. We need
more of that.
there's been more focus. I think, obviously, electronic music has had a big focus for the last decade. And it will still always have its place. But I think there's been a bit more eyes shifting towards, I want real people performing music in this room, I love that because we make mistakes. We're real people. We don't have tracks.
Right.
What you come for is all of our hard work that we're putting out on the table. So I think there seems to be some appreciation for that coming back around right now. Some of the more attention on rock bands.
Yeah, that's really cool to see because like Chaos Alberta, I think it was called. That was for like 2017 or something.
Yeah, Chaos was like 2017, 2018, and then didn't come back for 2019. And then I just looked it up. Sonic Boom, the last one was 2015.
Wow. Yeah, we need more of that.
Yeah, we do. And I mean,
more musicians, they can, just hang out and make friends. And
we're tough though. We're landlocked over in Alberta, and I don't know about you, but I don't think K-Days has the same funding as Calgary Stampede. I mean, have you seen their lineup?
Definitely not. Yeah.
So they're trying to make it work, but yeah, it can be tough. We're lucky to get some of the big acts we do, but there's so many bands out there that can't be doing tour circuits that we would obviously love to have around here playing festivals with. So shout out to the ones that are kind of bootstrapping it and making it happen.
Yeah, because Chaos AB had some pretty big names. Like there wasn't Slayer and Disturbed and like all those kind of guys. Yeah,
I was lucky enough to work that one, so I got to see Gwar and Marilyn Manson and Disturbed and Slayer, and I was like, how is this Edmonton?
How is this even possible?
we don't since Sonic Boom stopped, we don't do that.
No,
right? So it's nice to kind of see that, coming back. I mean, Weezer.
Yeah.
Weezer is.
Yeah, well, I mean, Folkfest gets some big. It has arguably getting the bigger names for festivals in Edmonton, even like the last little bit. But I know it's different genres.
Yeah.
Folkfest is still going every year, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's nice to see.
Well, I don't think it's stopping anytime soon.
No, I really wanted to go. The year of Monsters and Men came in like
it was good.
2015, but that was like 10 years ago. I don't even know if they're ever going to come back and do that. But
yeah, that was there's definitely some standout acts for sure at that festival.
Of Monsters and Men just put out a new song.
Oh, it's a good song.
After 10 years or something like that of not putting out any music.
Yeah,
so there is hope.
There was a while. Yeah, I listened. It was good. I liked it a lot. Who did you guys have like any favorite bands you saw at Rock and Thunder? Who would you say?
I mean, I love Weezer,
Yeah.
and this was my second time seeing them, and I've heard "Say It Ain't So" played so many times. I think any musician probably has. Any bar goer with a live band has heard that fucking song so
Yeah.
many times. So getting to hear it by the original creators is a very special treat in my mind.
Yeah.
So I was a big
Real
fan of
thing
that.
is
And
incredible.
I love Joan Jett.
Yeah.
Yeah, she still sounded exactly like she
Yeah,
does.
incredible.
She's a legend.
Like,
Yeah, from the videos I saw, she sounded great.
Uh-huh. It was my
Yeah.
second time seeing her, and yeah, like super happy with getting that again because she's cooking up there, 66. It's
66.
like, wow, and you're touring still, hell yeah.
Yeah. It's motivating too, being
yeah.
that old and seeing that. Yeah. Is she, correct me if I'm wrong, but was she in Heart?
No,
No?
Joan Jett was the
that was
Runaways.
Pat Benatar
Runaways.
was in Heart.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the Runaways with what's her name, Cherry. I can't remember. I
Oh.
didn't follow them as much, but Joan Jett's solo career I followed more.
Okay. There. Well, yeah. I think we'll wrap it up here. It's a good spot. Thank you guys so much for coming on to the podcast. It was a great interview. I'm really glad that you guys, were willing to come on and, give me some insight in your band and share your thoughts about whatever else we talked about today. It was really cool. You guys are awesome. So yeah, thank you. And it was awesome to meet you, Max.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, Josh. Thanks for having us out. And can I take like a second to do a plug for some
Of course.
upcoming stuff?
Go for it, man.
Okay, one of them I can share, and one of them I can't announce, but I can share the date. For anyone that wants to catch our next performance, we will actually be playing July 26th at Taste of Edmonton, opening up for, I believe, Trooper plays that night. Double check, give us a follow on Roll the Bones Music, but 6:30, I believe, is what we'll be playing at, but don't quote me on that right now. It's still a little early to say.
Cool.
And then we'll be playing in another festival in the city, September 6th. I just can't say it yet until the 17th. So
Cool.
you have opportunities to check us out still yet.
Yeah, I'll check that out and I'll try to make it out. That sounds awesome. And Taste of Edmonton, you got a bunch of different food options to try too.
Always a good time. Nothing better than a show with a bite
Best-
to go along with it.
Best
Hey,
of both
it's-
worlds, Nash food.
Taste of
playing
Edmonton,
live.
exactly. Easy band dinner at Taste of
Get
Edmonton.
this guy some nachos, some Doritos.
Taco in a bag. Let's go.
Yeah.
Totally.
But yeah, so it was lovely meeting you, Josh. Thanks for having us on.
You as well. Hell yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Yeah, right on. It was fucking awesome. Good talk. Cool.
Take care.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
The sun beams down on me. I've been trying to see your beautiful face in the clouds where I wanna be.